Hey everyone, I'm Almar of almarsguides.com, and in this video here we're going to be talking about the Guardian build in Titan Quest. So, to put it simply, this is a tank. Nature is one of the most tanky slash survivability builds you can get, and defense is the same way. So, you're just like a brick shithouse when it comes to this character. And, obviously, the fact that your survivability is so high, it means your damage is going to suffer a little bit, so that's what you should expect with this character. Very, very high survivability and like mediocre damage or so. My damage is a little bit worse because I don't have high offensive ability, but we'll get to that. So for the most part, I depend on my pets to do a lot of the damage for me. I debuff with Plague and Survive. Those are like the two main things that I do, but there's a few other things too. So let's start with the defense build. So Adrenaline, I like this trait. I just put 1 point into each of these for right now. As you can see, I'm still only level 69. Nice. Which I still got like 30, more than 30, like almost 50 skill points left to get. So I still got a lot of, points I can do on this. Rally, I got like a few points into Rally, a few points into the passive, and then I maxed out Defiance because that's one of my favorite ones because it gives bonus elemental resist plus damage reflected. Battle awareness, as you can see, I went full tilt into battle awareness because more survivability with who. Quick recovery, more survivability with who. Quick recovery isn't going to be one of those abilities that saves your life, but it is one of those abilities that you pop it and you're going to take significantly less damage for, X amount of time. It's a nice, defensive cooldown is what I would describe it as. And as you can see, I didn't even have it bound to my bars because I'm bad. Shield charge, so this is just going to be your close the gap slash skill disruption slash stun ability. It's nice to initiate all fights with this. I put it on my right mouse click. Batter, this is going to be your left button click ability. This is going to be your main DPS ability. As you can see, I haven't maxed it out yet because, like I said earlier, I'm bad. This, you probably want to max this out pretty early on. I depend more on my pets than I do my own damage, which is why I don't have it maxed out yet, but depending on your own personal playstyle, if you're not someone who likes depending on pets as much, you probably don't want to play this build anyway, but if you are playing this build, you can focus more on your damage versus your pet's damage. It's however you want to play the character. So on the right hand side of the defense tree, as you can see, I maxed out all of those passives. As always, so long as you're using a one-hander and shield primarily on defense, you'll want to max those out. Colossus form, that's a no-brainer. Of course I got it. And also we have Refresh in Nature Mastery, which will help us with the cooldown of Colossus form quite a bit. And we'll talk about that now once we get into Nature Mastery. So left side of the tree, Heart of the Oak, obviously you want to max that out. Permanence of Stone you want to max out, but I only ever put 1 point in the Tranquility of Water. Regrowth I put no points into. Refresh I put a single point into because I like using it for, you'll see on the Hades boss fight coming up, I like running around when I'm taking too much damage. I'll throw down a wolf, pop refresh, throw down another wolf, because it helps me keep all of my pets up as much as possible on very, very difficult bosses. Briarward, I put 1 point in here, mostly just for shits and giggles. I'm experimenting with it. I like the healing that it does to anybody standing in the thick of it. Then again, I don't have that passive, so it doesn't give me any healing. Right now, it just poisons enemies who attacks it and deals damage to anybody who attacks it. Wolves, I have maxed out. I have Survival Instincts and Strength of the Pack maxed out too. You only ever really need like 1 point in them all. It's not that important. So the Silva Nymph, I have quite a few points into all of this right here. Up to you. Well, actually 1 point into Overgrowth, 2 points into Nature's Wrath, and I think 3 points into Sylvan Protection is what I got. And then I got the Nymph maxed out because I have a lot of plus skills. So if you don't want to rely on pets as much as I am, you'll want to put these points elsewhere for the time being, and then you want to use the Silva Nymph as like the skill that you dump your points into when you're done with everything else that's important. And then you have Plague right here, which is another very, very important skill for this build. This is your main debuff. It'll reduce physical, elemental, and poison resist, as well as a bunch of other things, as you can see here. Very, very good debuff for this build. And let's look at my gear. I'm using the Uber Carrot of Awesomeness, which is just one of my favorite weapons. I like the meme of using the carrot. I think it's funny. Not the best for me though. I could use something with offensive ability that would do better. Verdant Plate. This is kind of like a breastplate that's made for this build, which I decided to use it for more or less that reason, since it's like made for this build. Apples of Idun. Instead of Talisman of the Jade Emperor, I chose this because I want the Vitality resistance, especially for the boss that we're going to be killing, Hades. Chiron's Loot. I wanted the Pierce and Poison resist. That's really all I want off of it. The plus skills, plus it comes with a few other nice resists that I like. Band of Souls, I'm currently using this because we're about to fight Hades. However, I usually use this in placement. Star of the Elysium. I don't have capped Vitality resist if I use this, but it does come with more Pierce resist, more Poison resist, and it also gives me plus total physical damage, which is nice. And so I use Star of the Elysium for almost everything that isn't a Vitality boss like Hades. For a Vitality boss, I switched to Band of Souls. Ajax's Bronze Tower. I like this because Pierce and Poison resist, which are the two main resists that I'm lacking on most of my gear, almost always. Comes with some nice protection too. Stonebinder's Cuffs. Obviously, I incorporate this into almost all of my builds because it has +3 to all skills. Plus, I have one with attack speed on it, which is fantastic. Myrmidon's Pendant. I chose this because it has 42% bonus physical damage, plus the resists I would need the most. Pierce, Elemental, Vitality, and Bleeding is nice too. It's helpful to have a little bit of bleeding resist, so that way mobs that do bleeding damage don't just instantly kill you. And then Greaves of the Argonaut I have because it's one of the best physical damage boosting pieces of gear I can get my hands on. As you can see, it comes with offensive ability, a flat percentage boost to it, flat percentage boost to strength and dexterity as well, which are all important for this build. And then looking at my secondary resists, as you can see, my offensive ability is not very good, which is why I depend on my pets a lot more for their damage. If I wanted to do more damage myself, I would swap my weapon for something a little bit better that comes with like offensive ability on it. And I could also swap out probably my breastplate for something a little more offensive oriented instead of defensive oriented. But those covers the main abilities of the build. Now let's go kill some shit. So for the most part, you're going to be like you initiate a fight with casting Plague, well, Shield Charge, then Plague, and then you just spam Batter and you let all of your pets do basically everything. So it is a very, very boring sort of play style. As you can see here, it's very repetitive, as are most builds in this game. Plague, Shield Charge, and then we just start punching everything's face in with Batter. For the most part, normal mobs, we're not going to be using the main abilities or we're not going to be using a lot of abilities that we have. Like I'll pop Quick Recovery here just because. We'll pop Rally instead of our potion. But as you can see, I am taking damage, but I'm not taking like an oh my god amount of damage. There I kind of am because I got all these McKay archers ganging up on me and shit. And I can see I don't have my pets set to aggressive because they're not attacking on their own free will. They're running back to me all the time. Let's Plague him so he takes more damage from my pets and me. Let me set my pets to aggressive. This is something you have to do every single time you resummon a pet, which is really annoying. I wish there was a keybind for it. So as you can see, for the most part, I can just stand in most enemies. I can pop Rally. We'll do Refresh so Rally comes back up right away. We technically won't even need to use potions if we have good enough refresh. Because we can just chain pop Rally over and over. So we can basically make sure we're always under the effects of Rally at all times, which is phenomenal. It means I don't need as much elemental resistance as I have on my gear because I can keep Rally up at all times. Because Rally gives me, I think, what is it, like 80%? No, it's 60, yeah. 53% elemental resist, and I don't have it capped yet. I can put 4 more points into it. So about 60% when it's capped. Sorry, hiccups. Which is insane. And for that reason, if you can get more highly specialized gear, like if you can get For the most part, you need pierce resist, you need poison resist, you need physical resist will help, but pierce, poison, vitality, and what else? What am I missing? Bleed. Bleed, you need it for some mobs, but not all mobs. But if you get, since we can depend on rally for our elemental resistances, if you can get gear with high poison, high pierce, and high vitality resist, you can pretty much not focus that much on your elemental resists because of rally, which is great because it gives us much more gearing options when it comes to gearing up. Like I could get some more offensive ability instead of missing as much as I do if I had the appropriate gear to swap to. As you can see, though, we're not really struggling with any of these mobs. And we're way below their level, too. We're like 20 levels below them. Well, 11 levels. Rounded up a bit too far there. So this will be the first hard fight of the video, the Warden of Souls that's coming up. He does primarily vitality damage though. When Colossus forms, so we're going to stand toe-to-toe with him. Now, I say hard boss because he typically is hard. If I didn't put on my Band of Souls ring and I didn't have capped vitality resist, he would have did a shit ton of damage to me with his, whatchamacallit, the little tidal wave vitality thing he does. See, we lost one of our little wolves. That's fine. Now, since my wolves don't have, since I don't have a heal ability and my wolves also don't heal very fast themselves, what I like to do is in between fights when they're all low health is just summon them again. And to do that, you just summon a wolf, pop refresh, summon a wolf, and then you just wait until you can summon the third wolf again. And then you're good. Oopsies, that's not good. One of my less favorites. See how the wolves there, since I resummoned them, they weren't doing their job. They were just like chilling next to me, not doing anything. That's the most annoying part. So as you can see, our damage is quite low. Even well, I forgot to use Plague, which buffs the damage a little bit. I always forget to use Plague because I'm not used to having I'm used to having that on my right click. Oh, I already have Soul Stone, that's why. So like I said, low damage, but great survivability. Something, they dispelled my buff, so let's fix that real fast. Okay, pretty sure I got all my buffs. I feel like I'm missing something, but... So as you can see, with great vitality resist, we can just like stand here and tank the boss. You should have seen my attempt before this, though, before I equipped the Band of Souls. We had to run around like a chicken with our head cut off because we didn't have enough vitality resist to tank him like this. And in situations like that, when you don't have the appropriate resist to tank a boss because you're under geared, what you want to do is basically just spam refresh and run around while recreating your pets, and throw plague on the boss too so he takes more damage. But it really is as simple as that. Like, there's always a strategy if your gear is lackluster. And we didn't get a single good item from him. But that's all there is to it. That's the Guardian build for Titan Quest. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, please leave them below, and I will do my best to answer them. Aside from that, I'll catch you guys around in another guide video. Peace.